Do you fight with cheating on your keto program? Does it drive you nuts? Can I help? Mike here at After 40 Fitness and after40fitness.ca. Great question came in on a comment about cheating on their keto diet. In fact, let me show it to you real quick. Here's the question. You can see it's from KJR. Great stuff. I appreciate that, by the way. Thanks, KJ. Question, cheat days kill me. I'm good for a week or so, but I can't seem to stop myself when crap is put in front of me. Oh my goodness. Preaching to the choir. How do you avoid lapses that can easily set you back days? Guys, this is a good indicator. Questions, good questions like this get turned into videos just like this one. So please throw a comment in, or conversely, an email to Mike at after40fitness.ca. Best questions get turned into videos. So let's do it. Speaking of that, if you haven't yet subscribed, please do. I would appreciate it. It would help me grow the channel. Definitely hit the like button. And if you know anybody who's doing keto, then this is a video you're going to want to share. Cheating, if you will, I'm going to get into this in detail, afflicts everyone. This regimen is a test of everyone's self-control and patience and persistence. I thought before I put together this video, I'd do a little jumping into the social media forums, into Facebook, and have a look and see how prevalent topics and posts were about lapsing, about cheating, if you will. And I didn't have to go far. Look at this one. Just a few hours ago, I fell off the wagon hard and I've gained most of my weight back. Sure, of course. How about this one, a Great Canadian Keto? Okay, I'm getting back on the keto wagon. Haven't seen the numbers go down so far like the last time. How about this one here? Dirty Lazy Keto fell off the wagon 6 weeks ago. Been too embarrassed to say anything, but I gained a pound a week. So 6 pounds back in 6 weeks. Good. And how about one more? Oh, this one made me laugh. Someone actually went so far as to create a meme and then do a poll on a scale from 1 to 10. How bad did you cheat on your diet this month? To be fair, there were an awful lot of ones in that poll, make no mistake, but the number of 7, 8, 9s, and 10s would blow you away. Really quite surprising. I'm going to show you one more. Another last post of this nature. Where do I begin? I'm so out of breath and shape, it's ridiculous. I lost 40 pounds before this quarantine, and now I've gained it almost all back. So let's start by talking about what cheating is, what it isn't, and let's start with a definition. How about we go with this definition of cheating? See if you agree with me. It is non-adherence to your nutritional plan, right? So we're talking about keto, but it could be any nutritional plan, but non-adherence to your nutritional plan. So in other words, you were structured today for dinner to have salmon and vegetables. And instead, whether you're caught up in a situation or on purpose, you elected to have pizza and ice cream. Make no mistake, that's what we're talking about. That's cheating on your diet, plain and simple. And I think that's important because cheating is a negative. Just the very word, when you hear the word cheating, that has emotional stigma. That is associated with a lack of self-control, a lack of discipline, call it a shortage of willpower, even some impulsiveness, but it's definitely failure. Okay, when you catch yourself cheating and the afterward, the recourse of it is, man, I suck, I'm a failure. So giving in when you didn't plan to, that's cheating. It happens. It's not the end of the world. Make no mistake, no one ever died from cheating on their nutritional plan, but it's clearly cheating. It's non-adherence. There's another big issue. It's like a switch. For most people, when they cheat any part of the day, they write the day off. So let's say, for example, I'll be hypothetical and say that was me, that I'm going to instantly write the day off. So it could be in the middle of the afternoon, I reach over and I grab a handful of M&Ms or a handful of Doritos, and that's it. I now know that the day is toast. And so instead of having a handful and maybe 20 or 30 grams of carbs, I now go on a carb binge and I have 2,000 calories of crap. That's the difference. And all of a sudden, what could have been a mistake, a handful, turns into, oh my goodness, a burger and fries for dinner, M&Ms, ice cream, it could be potato chips and soda, bag of cookies. I mean, no holds barred. So if some of you react similar to that, then we all empathize. We all get it. And now here's where it gets really crucial to understand the implications of that psychologically. Now remorse kicks in, right? Guilt, feelings of complete and utter inadequacy. Oh my goodness, woe is me, and we take it out on ourselves, and we are our own worst critics, no doubt about it. And because of those feelings of self-loathing, of failure, all of a sudden psychosomatic symptoms kick in, right? We get the gut rot, we get the indigestion, the nausea, the heartburn. Man, some people have constipation and diarrhea at the same time. It's funny, and yet it's not, because the symptoms are real. The question is, are they physiological? Can truly 20, 30, 50 grams of carbs cause that? Or is it psychosomatic because of how we feel about ourselves? Let's talk about how we spin that on its head. Yeah, this term refeed. Refeeds are a game changer. You're going to love this. Refeeds are what took me from being a victim of the heartburn, the indigestion, and the nausea, clearly, to being in control of them. You'll like this concept. Work with me on this. A refeed follows the exact same steps as a cheat. All right. However, the refeed now is on purpose. It's part of the plan. It's part of your plan rather than as a consequence of events that you'll say were out of your control. So just to walk you through it, there's a ton of confusion in media, in social media, and in forums between cheating and refeeding. Refeeding actually has a couple of technical terms. You can look them up. They're called TKD and CKD. TKD being targeted keto diet and CKD being cyclical keto dieting. Far too many people consider them all synonymous, that they're all cheating on a keto. Well, you know something? I'll put it to you this way. What you follow, if you don't do TKD or CKD, you follow the SKD. SKD being a standard keto diet. That's your usual macros. Everyone follows it. Everyone knows what it is. So to them, if you're strict as an SKD person, then sure, TKD and CKD could look like you're cheating. However, for those of us that follow a methodology, for those of us who do it on purpose, as part of our plan, as part of our regimen, not the case. To us, it is our regimen. To us, it's very different, and they're not at all synonymous. They are not synonymous with cheating. Let me walk you through it. I want to show you 2 places I found online where cheating has become a positive. Okay, this to me is refeeding. Here's the difference. Okay, I want you to substitute when you see the word cheating, refeeding. Nonetheless, this one from Healthline says that cheating within a diet plan involves giving yourself calculated, planned permission to temporarily break strict diet rules. The theory behind it is it will, help you stick to your prescribed diet more often. That to me is not cheating. Right? The very definition of cheating, the word itself, as we've established, is negative. So cheating can't be a calculated, planned permission. Right? That's the definition of refeed.
You keep using the word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
How about this one over here on cookinglight.com? Notice, is it okay to cheat on a diet? No. Yes. In fact, having a regularly scheduled cheat day each week can actually be good for weight loss. It prevents binges, reduces cravings, provides a mental break, and boosts metabolism. All true, not of the word cheat. How they can put cheat in this, having a regularly scheduled cheat day? Oh my goodness. Not the definition of cheating. Oh my goodness. Definitely the definition, though, of refeeding, where refeeding is a systematic, planned part of your regimen, right? Got it? So let me touch really quickly on the difference between TKD and CKD. Right? See, if you want to do some research on it, you should. But targeted keto is really designed to put carbs in and around a workout. So for you men and women who work out regularly, the idea behind TKD is to either have something there 15 to 20 grams of carbs just prior to a workout or just after a workout. Moving on though to CKD. CKD is probably where you and I can make the best application of strategic use of carbs. And if you look up cyclical keto dieting, you're going to find the most common regimen, honestly, on the internet is probably 5 and 2. It's 5 days a week of strict keto, 5 days of SKD, but then 2 days dedicated to carbs, to unlimited carbs, eat normal, don't stupid, all right, nothing retarded, but at the same time, allow yourself the carbs that you would normally not have. I find, if you think about it for a second, I'm of the opinion that 2 days of carbs could undo or potentially stall or stop what 5 days of standard keto did. I found a video by Dr. Boz. Dr. Boz is also a keto specialist, and she showed that. Look at this. Here's the example of 5 and 2. I just want to draw your attention to Monday to Friday, good standard keto. But then what she meant, and this is where I'm going with, don't go hog wild with carbs, was she said 50%. So 50% of your calories on Saturday and Sunday from carbs. So take it from the usual, 5? 5% is probably what our goal is on standard keto, right up to as high as 50% of our calories on Saturday and Sunday coming from carbs. So again, not stupidly hog wild, but high, much higher, 10 times more carbs than we're used to Monday to Friday. But Dr. Boz also showed this graph and showed the keto dieting versus the cyclical. I'm not sure what this is based on. However, it would, because it's based on millimoles, you would think that this is based on a study showing that the keto people who stayed keto the whole time, Monday through Friday, in fact, let's call it their adherence was always, hover between between 0.9 and 1.2 millimole for ketones. But notice those who took Saturday and Sunday off, they looks like they started Monday morning or whenever they took their test Monday morning above zero, right? So still, oddly enough, according to these stats, in ketosis, right? They're not starting right from a baseline of zero, so they're at about the 0.1, 0.2, so low ketones. But to my surprise, and probably to the surprise of many of you, it looks like whoever the participants were started in a measure of ketosis despite Saturday and Sunday having 50% of their calories from carbs. And yet it took them until Wednesday-ish Thursday to get above zero point 0.5. I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical. I do this, like I mentioned to you, did this on a 6-and-1 and now on a 13-and-1 basis. And I'm always the next morning, I'm always back in ketosis. And by the end of the day, I can be at 0.8, 0.9, 1.1. So where these people suddenly took till Thursday to cross 0.5, consider me skeptical, but I just wanted to illustrate that this would then, as we talked about, if you went with something like a 5-and-2, this could impact your ketosis, or at a minimum, certainly will slow it down. So when I talk to my clients about employing CKD, I talk about 6-and-1. I think 6-and-1 is the better choice. I don't think in one day, think about it, but I don't think you may disagree that in one day you can undo 6 good days of work. So I actually took it one step. When I first started employing CKD, I did it one step further. I actually didn't write off an entire Saturday. I would be good. I would fast until noon. I would have a normal lean protein lunch. Mid-afternoon, I used to have my pork rinds with cheese, maybe a little hamburger or chicken on top, make some pseudo nachos is what I call those. But dinner, from dinner through bed, open season. So from about 6 o'clock till 10 o'clock, let's call it that 4-hour window, no holds barred. There was nothing I couldn't have. I could go for burger and fries and then go to the show with the kids and have M&Ms and licorice and finish off with a DQ Blizzard. Okay, that to me was my half a week, half a day per week. And I truly don't think it's possible, even let's call it 1,000 calories. Heck, let's call it 2,000 calories. I don't believe that 4-hour window can undo the rest of the 6.5 or 6 3/4 days of the week. Once I really started or desired to get lean, though, I went one step further. And my current regimen of CKD is 1 day every 2 weeks, every other Saturday. Let's make it that way. So what I do is I look forward to it. Oh, I can't wait. I plan everything around every other Saturday. Right? There's my goal. My goal is to make this keto lifestyle, a sustainable thing, which for me means 2 times per month I enjoy. I gorge. Frankly, it's kind of disgusting. I don't mind telling you. So that's how it works for me. You have to elect that works for you. But here's where I want you to go back to the physiological impact of it. I used to have that same. Remember we talked about that I also had the indigestion and the nausea and the headache after binging, right after cheating on my program. As soon as I changed the mentality of it's not going to be a cheat anymore, it's going to be a regimen. It's called CKD. It's part of my program, and adherence to my program dictates that I get those 2 4 or 5-hour windows twice a month. Guess what happened? Zero impact, zero side effects, no gut rot, no indigestion, no headache. What does that tell you? In my humble opinion, is 100% psychosomatic. I can now go out with the family and eat pizza and ice cream and licorice and M&Ms and a large root beer at the show and come back and feel wonderful. Can't wait to go to the gym the next morning to have the best, sickest pumps of my life, to put out personal bests and moves. You know, I'm really shocked. I would never have been one to say that such physiological impacts could be psychosomatic, but unbelievable. No downside. None. I, I can't speak enough to you. Need to try. You need to investigate it. If you're still skeptical and it doesn't suit you, that's cool. I'm okay with that. Let me switch gears for a second now and talk about the why, or the rationale behind why you might consider CKD. Remember, KJ's question was about how do I avoid the lapses? And this is where I think CKD becomes so critical. I looked up a couple of studies, or I went looking for some scholarly articles on adherence to diet regimens. I wanted to see overall what adherence was like, what dropouts were like, and therefore how we could make standard keto dieting more sustainable, more palatable in the long term. So I want to draw your attention to a PMC I found that I thought was really quite good. What they do is they compared 4 diet groups. They put people into 4 diet groups, 160 participants, all overweight and or obese, all with medical conditions. So you would think motivated, motivated to want to be involved in a study like this. But on top of that, they're going to pay them to be involved in a study. It was a 1 year long study, and they wanted to see the comparisons in weight loss and biomarkers between the four different diet methodologies: Weight Watchers, Atkins, what we now call keto, the zone, and the Ornish diet. I don't know if you've heard of it, many of those, but you can look them up independently. What I do want to draw your attention to is, look at this. This is one of the I love this. I love this. They did this. What a great comment by the authors. They want to do a statistical comparison of 100% adherence over a 12-month weight loss program, weight change program. It mentions 3 diets. There was 4. I'll show you that in just a second. Nonetheless, for some reason, they omitted Weight Watchers in the summary. But they wanted to see if there was a difference in weight loss and in biomarkers between these four diet regimens. So cool. Okay, I want you to notice the next line. The next line was, however, given the very low number of participants within each diet that were 100% adherent, we were unable to carry out this comparison, right? A weight loss comparison between the 4 study groups. So first of all, I'll tell you what the numbers were, but given the very low number of participants within each diet that were 100% adherent, meaning even motivation, even being overweight, obese, and having a medical condition, and getting paid, these people could not be 100% reliant. Well, how inadherent were they? Across all 3 diet groups, only 1 participant in the Ornish group met the criteria for absolute adherence. When they dropped the criteria, the adherence criteria went from 1 to 9, meaning that when they did the randomized test, you had to hit 2 out of 3, right? Now, I'm going to show you then the summary of the actual PMC was that the 12-month dropout rate was between 1/3 and half. Again, so despite all the motivation in the world, even getting paid, between 1/3 and a half dropped out of the study among the 4 diet groups presented. I went looking for some more information on this study and found a Science Daily explanation of it. So here's where they explain the weight loss strategies of this PMC. Again, Weight Watchers, Atkins, Zone, and Ornish. You'll notice that the 160 participants were all overweight or obese, and they had something, whether it was hypertension, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, all of them obviously insulin resistant, all would love to lose weight. That's why they enrolled in this study, as well as to get paid. So individuals, let's look at them. Okay, so Atkins, 53% completed. So let's call that keto. That means half, 21 out of 40 people finished the study. For the zone diet, 26 out of 40, or roughly 65%. So it had a 15%-ish, 12%-ish better results than keto. Same with Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers was also 65%, so 1/3 dropped out. And for Ornish, 20 out of 50%, 20 out of 40. So the reason I bring this to your attention is, if in these circumstances, if adherence is that low, and I say that low because it's that low, it's half or worse in 1 year, despite the added motivation of getting paid, then no wonder we suffer. No wonder we have a hard time. No wonder we occasionally will give in and lapse when temptation presents itself. No wonder KJ and others post the kind of questions they did. And no wonder I just gave you some examples of comments of people who turn a cheat day or a bad day into a bad 6 weeks, right? We need to do something about that. To me, the answer is CKD. When one of my clients comes to me and says, Mike, I'm interested in this keto thing that you love and preach and extol the virtues of. How can I make it successful? How do I make it the most palatable and tolerable? I say, I'm going to introduce you to a concept that once you're fat adapted, start with standard. In fact, start strict standard. But after you're fat adapted, and we'll know, I can tell in your workouts when that's going to happen, let's say in the 4 to 6 week range, then I'm going to move you into either probably lazy with some components of dirty, again, what I call flexible keto. And we're also going to incorporate CKD. And I'm going to admonish you to go with the once every 2 weeks like I do, but we can go as high as once every 10 days for the first little while to make sure you respond well and you have, as I suspect, no psychosomatic physiological responses. And invariably, that works like a flaw. And because I explain it the way I do, that I don't want you to have any symptoms, we'll start off with, once you're fat adapted, with once every 2 weeks. You know something? They look forward to it. They plan for it. They consider it a reward for hard work and for effort extended. And not one comes back and says, oh my God, I had a blizzard last night with a burger and fries at DQ and I was sick for 3 days. No one, none, because I sell it the way I do, that it's part of their regimen. It requires adherence. And you know what happens? just like my example, when someone then in the middle of the week is presented with licorice by their kids, they are able to say no because they know they're looking forward to their next opportunity for a refeed. The power of that, I can't tell you enough. You really need to take some time and look into it. I want to finish with one last example of someone who struggles with the cheating, if you will, and should incorporate refeeding. I saw this post yesterday. I thought this was such a good explanation by this Ms. Bowman. She says the usual struggle: the kids are chomping on some popcorn, M&Ms, licorice. Without a thought, I grab some, and in seconds, the bag is mine. My precious, awesome, well played. At least I can keep it to a day, not a week. Well played as well. But still, it's like a switch. Yeah, the day is invariably toast. Tips or tricks. So I'm just going to say the same thing to Ms. Bowman that I said to KJ, that you also need to consider CKD. That CKD will be one of those things that will prevent you from turning it into more than it is. If someone reaches in and grabs a handful of something, she mentions popcorn, M&Ms, licorice, you grab some and in seconds the bag is yours. The only way to stop that is to right away know in your head that you're looking forward to your next refeed, that what you just did, what you just grabbed was a mistake. And I think most people get that. The key is to know it in the moment, not to have to wait till tomorrow morning to realize it. I just can't help but think that a great way to amend that is to add in CKD and give yourself a focus, a focal point, a reward for an effort well done. We all deserve it, and I truly believe, based on my experience and those of my clients, that there's no better way to make the keto lifestyle, the keto way of eating, palatable and sustainable long term than to set out reward markers for ourselves. On that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, put a comment in the comment section. The best comments have turned into videos just like this one. I hope you enjoyed the time and effort I put into the research, the background, finding you some statistics. I do my best to make it not only my opinion, but also as statistical and scientific as possible. If you haven't yet, I think you agree you're going to want to share this one with anyone you know who's dieting, particularly if they're keto or low carb. But anybody who would benefit from this information, and please do hit the like button and the subscribe button. And on that note, see you in the next one. Ciao for now.